Well, hello everyone, and welcome to The Road Traveled. We're so excited that you're listening today. We're going to be discovering an interesting destination in Charlottesville, Virginia. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get the introductions out of the way. I'm Judy with World Travel Service, and I'm joined by Melissa with abetterviewtravel and Brantley Ussery, who's the Director of Marketing and PR with the Charlottesville Albemarle Convention and Visitors Bureau. We're so excited today to talk about this great region. So with that, Melissa, I will send it over to you.
Great. Thank you, Judy, and thank you, Brantley, for joining us today. Do you just want to briefly touch on where Charlottesville is for visitors who don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank you guys for having me on, first of all. So Charlottesville and Albemarle County, very centrally located, pretty much right in the heart of Virginia, about 2 hours southwest of Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia. It's about an hour to the west of Richmond and just a few hours from Virginia Beach. And we're sitting right at the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So we're nestled right into the foothills, just a beautiful area.
Great. So besides car, how else could visitors get to this wonderful area?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways. Of course, car road trips are all the rage these days. We also have connectivity with Amtrak, and we have a gem of a local airport that has nonstop service to 6 destinations, connectivity to 6 different airports.
Great. And while we're in COVID right now, do you want to briefly touch on, let us know what the policies are in the area?
Sure. So we do have a few policies that visitors will have to observe when they come for a visit. So first and foremost, in any kind of indoor or outdoor public space where social distancing of 6 feet can't be observed, visitors are required and locals are required to have face coverings. No indoor gatherings of more than 50 people, and indoor dining at restaurants can occur, but the restaurant can only be operating at 50% capacity. So those are the rules that we currently have in place here in Charlottesville and Albemarle County.
Great. Can you let us know some popular activities for outdoor lovers, for families? Are there kid-friendly activities?
Yeah, so you're looking at one of my favorite pictures right there in the top left. That is a beautiful panoramic shot of Carter Mountain Orchard, extremely popular with visitors, very family friendly. In the fall especially, fall's just right around the corner. They do hay rides and all kinds of fun things. You can pick your own apples. They have these incredible homemade apple cider donuts that you just have to get if you go up there. And of course, the views are incredible. You can see all the mountains in the background and the city below. Of course, for older folks, we have some wineries that you can enjoy, nearly 40 wineries located along the Monticello wine trail. And then in the bottom right, you see the historic pedestrian downtown mall, which is family friendly and folks of all ages can enjoy a nice stroll and pick up a good meal.
Great. Downtown Charlottesville, if I remember correctly, is Dave Matthews Band from this region?
Yeah, they actually did get their start here, and one of the restaurants where they got their start was Miller's, which is located right on the downtown mall. So that's certainly a popular spot for all folks who love the Dave Matthews Band. And downtown in general is just such a unique gem of a pedestrian mall. So this avenue that you see right here, it used to be vehicular traffic. And then in the 70s, they decided they'd do a little experiment and brick it in and turn it into a pedestrian mall to see if people would be receptive to that. And the end result is it became one of the most successful pedestrian malls in the country, and other cities have observed what we've done here and used it as a model for their own downtown. So it's about 8 blocks in length and has tons of restaurants with patio dining, boutique shops, performance venues, the Paramount Theater. You can see the marquee there over on the far right. So just a really great spot for dining and culture, and just some good people watching too.
Great. And then also downtown, there is some distilleries and any breweries?
Yeah, so in downtown, there are some breweries. Distilleries are kind of sprinkled not only around the city, but also out into the county as well. So just really a wide variety of, as we call them, leisure beverages for folks to enjoy.
Wonderful. And just outside of Charlottesville is Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, correct?
Yeah, yep. Monticello is obviously one of the biggest draws that we have for visitation to the region. History in general, our area is so rich in it. And so Monticello situated up on the mountaintop there in Albemarle County, and you can take tours. Of course, things are a little different in the COVID area, but they are still welcoming visitors, certainly. Just reduced capacity inside the home. A little perk though, now you can take pictures inside the home, which they did not allow before. So you can spend several hours up there. You can see the gardens, you can just stroll those, and there's just all kinds of things that you can do while you're on grounds there at Monticello. So definitely budget at least a couple of hours for your trip.
And he's not the only president that has a home in the region.
He's not. Just right down the road, James Monroe has his home of Highland, and it really is just about a mile and a half from Monticello, so they're literally next door neighbors, and that has just recently reopened to the public, so you can take outdoor tours of Highland and explore some rustic trails that they have. And I should also mention there's a trail series right outside of Monticello as well, where you can take a lovely stroll before you make your visit to the presidential home.
Great. And I think you mentioned there's a number of wineries in the region?
Yeah, we've really become quite the booming wine industry here in Central Virginia, and it's been pretty incredible for me to see over the 15 years that I've lived here. We've gone from something like maybe 15 to 20 wineries to now boasting almost 40 wineries within like a 30 to 40 mile radius of Charlottesville. So it's really incredible. The wine trail is called the Monticello Wine Trail, and our history with wine goes all the way back to the days of Thomas Jefferson. He had this vision that the soil of Central Virginia could really sustain and support a vibrant wine industry, and he tried to grow grapevines, but he didn't do so great at it. So he never actually saw his vision come to fruition in his lifetime, of course, but we think he'd be pretty glad to know that now Central Virginia boasts some of the best wineries, not only in Virginia or the East Coast, but in the entire country. I mean, it's just such a wonderful wine scene that we have here.
And what type of wine? White, red, sparkling?
Oh, all of the above. Viognier is the state grape of Virginia, so that's a wine that you'll find at many of the wineries, but basically any type of wine you like, red wine, sparkling, red, white, sparkling, you can find them all.
Great. And I believe Charlottesville is home to the University of Virginia?
Yep, it sure is. So one thing I forgot to mention about Monticello, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So that's pretty impressive. Well, the University of Virginia is also a part of that UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it features the rotunda, which is just kind of like the centerpiece of the university. Of course, lots of folks come to visit for the University of Virginia. Obviously, a lot of students and their families come and visit. And it's just such a breathtaking, and you can't call it a campus, it's the grounds of the University of Virginia, and they're not freshmen, they're first years, second years, etc. So the University of Virginia, definitely a big draw for visitation to the region.
Outdoor activities, Shenandoah is right there. Are trails, do you have guides that you'd recommend?
Yeah, so there are so many trails, not only right in the immediate Charlottesville and Albemarle County vicinity, but Shenandoah National Park, you can be there in 30 minutes from downtown Charlottesville. So those impressive views that you see right there, that's from Humpback Rocks, which is just such an awesome hike. I mean, it's pretty short, but it's steep, so don't be fooled. But the payoff is that view that you see right there, the jagged rock formations, and obviously just the sweeping panoramic view. So outdoor lovers who want to come to Charlottesville, Shenandoah National Park's nearby. The Blue Ridge Parkway can also be reached in less than 30 minutes, so very convenient. And we also have two rivers in Charlottesville and Albemarle. So for water enthusiasts, for folks who like to kayak, for folks who like to canoe, for rafting, you know, we've got the Rivanna River about 1.5 miles from downtown, and then we have the James River, which runs in the southern part of the county. And there's this delightful little town called Scottsville where you can get a nice meal. It has this charming little main street running right down it, and several outfitters down there that can hook you up with everything you need for a day on the water.
Great. And then there's a number of farms and orchards. Is there a fair amount of farm-to-table dining?
Lots and lots of farm to table. So, so many of our restaurants get their food, get their produce, get their meats from all the local farms that we have. And of course the orchards where you can go pick your own. We talked about Carter Mountain, but there's several other orchards throughout the region as well.
And I'm assuming there's a variety of lodging options for guests who would like to come visit?
Yeah, there really is a pretty big variety. So we have everything from the popular chain hotels that everybody knows, like the Omni on the downtown mall, the Residence Inn on West Main. But we also have some more boutique options. The Quark Hotel just recently opened back in March. It has an expansive rooftop view, a rooftop bar where you can have views of the mountains, get a nice meal. We have options ranging all the way down to the University of Virginia. The Graduate is a real quirky, fun place to stay. We have places like the Oakhurst Inn, which is a 26-room boutique hotel that's also near the University of Virginia. And then we have some resort properties. We have the Boar's Head Resort, which is located just a little bit west of downtown. And coming back online, last we have heard in the spring of 2021 is Keswick Hall, which is just an impressive resort. You have to check it out. And it's definitely worth looking into if that's the kind of vacation that you want to plan.
And if somebody's going to come visit, what are the most popular times of year?
The most popular times of year, I would say, are the spring and the fall, where things are just so beautiful in the spring with everything coming back to life, the trees blooming and budding, and folks getting back outdoors. And then in the fall, of course, we have the fall foliage in Shenandoah National Park, and just in the county itself, the leaves are just so beautiful, and people come from all around to see them.
Great. And you mentioned farm to table dining option.
Yes, farm to table, it's huge. And with all the farms that surround the region, it makes it so easy for all the restaurants that we have. We were named the local board capital of the world a few years ago. So, folks may say it's a city of about 50,000 people here in Charlottesville. How many restaurants can you have? Well, we invite you to come and find out for yourself. There are restaurants all over the place. They're locally owned, and they really do embody the heart and soul of this community and this destination. You can really taste the love and the care that the restaurants put into their product.
Great. Any favorite meals to recommend?
Oh my gosh, there are so many. I'll tell you the one thing that people really do come from all over is for the Bodo's bagels. I mean, even folks from New York say when they want a bagel, they go to Charlottesville for Bodo's. So I'm not making that up. It is just such an incredible sandwich. And then, of course, we have all other types of things as well. Pretty much any type of cuisine you can imagine. You can.
Bagels, you're talking my language.
Bagel, I mean, just the carbs. What else do you need?
I know. It sounds great. Sounds so good. So if you are interested in planning a trip to Charlottesville, Albemarle, we hope after listening to this today that you will reach out to Melissa or myself to get started. I hope you can see that there are just so many things to this region. It's so much more than a day trip, and we would love to help you plan out a great trip, plan your accommodations accordingly. One of the things that I saw, Brantley, that I thought was amazing was that you can stay on a working farm. That made me so excited because, when I travel, I usually stay at hotels, but staying at a farm would be amazing, I think.
Yeah, you can stay on a working farm. You can stay at a winery. I mean, some of the wineries actually have bed and breakfasts on property. I mean, it's
true.
So many different.
After staying at a farm, I need to stay at a winery. That's a fair statement.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's a good point. Okay, so Melissa, with that, I think we'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to The Road Traveled. Thank you, Brantley, for joining us today. You have a wealth of information about a beautiful area, and as soon as this COVID is kind of in check, I plan on getting up there and checking everything out. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Can't wait to welcome you.
Bye, Melissa. Bye, Brantley.
Bye.
Bye.